Keep it on the X. AM 970 WSTX.
All right. Good music, good people, and a great day. Reflections Thursday. All right, and we had Christian Stead Community Alliance here with us, and we were talking about the upcoming cleanup on the 24th and that organization. I want to say if you're out there and you want to get involved, definitely give them a holler. Sign up. Your business or anyone else who wants to contribute, maybe water or other supplies that is going to help this process, hey, get in touch. Come on out. We can use all the hands we can get so we can take care of our Christian Stead, our Frederickstead, our island. Fantastic. We've got all kinds of good stuff going on. We've got some company here come in to talk about some of those things. So go ahead and put on that headphone and mosey on up to the mic. We got friendly mics here. They don't bite. Yeah. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Kamal Russell. Right now I'm representing the CRRA.
Yeah.
Which is the Christian Stead Restaurant and Retail Association.
Okay.
And what we're doing is we're partnering with tourism, who's doing a Dine VI, which is basically a restaurant week. The exact dates lose my mind, but I do know that Christian Stead, the event that we're partnering on is called Feast Christian Stead.
Yes, she was telling me about that. Yes. Mary Dima was telling me about that. Yes, yeah. Okay. And so the 7th in particular for the feast.
November 7th. Yeah.
November 7th. Okay, yeah. And we're looking forward to that. But tell me a little bit about CRRA. And the things that you folks are doing. I know one of the things that you're known for is the jump up, right?
Yeah, so I actually run a business called KDM Productions. I joined the CRA probably about a year and a half ago. My organization really handles the jump up, kind of do event promotion, event organization, that type of stuff, sound, lights. Shameless plug, basically. And so it was,
somebody's got to do it
all the time. All the time. So you're looking for anybody, just hit me up. But we took over the jump up about a year and a half ago, and it's been relatively, I think it's been getting a lot better. Mm-hmm. It's successful. I mean, I think also they would have fired me if they let me go if anything.
It's one of those things that makes a difference for Christian Stead, and it's an excellent opportunity to do different things. I mean, it was done how it was done originally, but you grow.
Yeah, and you got to change and adapt to times, and so I think Jump Up, being it 20 years, it's been in existence. It's been a cultural staple, and it's part of the culture right now. If you don't have Jump Up, it's it's kind of like how Mango Belly and Ad Fair. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It's part of what people expect, and people plan their trips. People plan their trips around the Jump Ups and all that type of stuff. And so, this next Jump Up is on November 27th. We're doing a Christmas Stead jump up, so we kind of start off the season a little bit. You know what I mean? So we're also going to feature a lot of the retail stores are going to feature a lot of deals because it's actually on Black Friday.
Wow. Okay.
So instead of just going to electronic deals in Sunny Isles, make sure you come out to Christian Stead Town and check out some of the deals on the jewelry, the clothing, anything the retail stores have to offer. There's a number of really nice new stores that open up, like there's a shoe bar that just opened up for the ladies that really is nice stuff. You have the regular staples like IB Designs and Joya Inspirations and a number of other different things. And also along with coming with Jump Up, it's not just about shopping and in the stores and stuff like that, but you get great vendors on the street. You got the Makajumbis, you got the great entertainment, along with, I think the restaurants too, give deals and all that type of stuff. So it's going to be a very, very nice jump up.
So come on, like, as you said with vendors, how can an individual sign up as a vendor?
Well, the best bet to go about doing it is probably going to Christiansted Town and going to either IB Designs or Joya Inspirations and ask them for a vendor application. I'm very accessible, and honestly, the vending community is a very close-knit community. They all know each other. If you're vending, and if you're a new vendor who is not in that community, I would suggest you go to, the two stores I just mentioned before, or if you know a vendor, just ask them for my number.
Okay. You mentioned Ivy Designs.
IB Designs.
IB.
Yeah,
Okay.
for stands for Island Boy.
Okay.
And then Joya Inspirations, and she's on Queen Cross Street.
Island Joy and Inspiration.
Joya Inspiration. Joya.
Joya. Okay.
Okay, that's the president and that's the treasurer. They own those two stores. They're the president and the treasurer of the association,
Sure.
and they have all the paperwork and necessary. But if you get my number, just give me a call. You know what I mean? I don't want to put it over the ear, but
No, I understand. But the key thing is that now you see we started off talking about the Christiansted cleanup efforts of the Christiansted Community Alliance and your partnership with them in moving forward on these things. So it's kind of evolving now that we're talking a little bit more about CRRA. And what I would do is invite you sometime to maybe get your leadership folks and come on in and let's talk a little bit about CRRA.
Definitely.
We'd love to get the word out to the community, especially things like if I were interested in being a vendor, I really wouldn't have known where to start until you guys start talking about it.
Yeah.
So these are simple things because you're in it all the time.
Exactly.
Right. So let's make a date in the future sometime, come by with President, Vice President, whoever want to just talk a little bit about what's going on with CRRA, how you can become a member of CRRA, how you can be a vendor in their stuff, what like Jump Up, and also the contributions that you make in partnership with other organizations in Christiansted. So
yes.
that's all good. So keep me in mind for that now.
No,
Definitely.
definitely.
Yeah, because the better it's broadcast out there for vendors, it helps you guys as well as the vendors, and it creates a more populous of income revenue stream and so forth.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we try not to turn away any vendors, and we just also want to bring more people into Christiansted Town, especially with the string of violence and how people are so terrified to go out now these days. It doesn't really lead to a thriving St. Croix if people stay indoors. You know what I mean?
Right.
So my thing is really about pushing people out their house to come out and not spend, because everybody ain't making serious money. Let's just be real about that. A lot of us don't make a lot of money.
Well, the camaraderie and the social environment go a long way.
And even if you spend $5 for a drink, 100 other people spend $500, and that local person will go and spend it back into the local economy. It generates it, and then also when tourists come out, you want to see a community that is vibrant and exciting and outgoing.
I know that whenever you have Jump Out, you have your barriers up for the cordon off the area so that and traffic being directed and NYPD out there pugging the street practically. They fly them in and show up.
They do.
No, VIPD. Come on, I'm just being humorous there. Okay. But seriously though, you personally interface with them. Who's your?
Yeah. So I had a great relationship with the previous chief. I have a great relationship with right now the commissioner and the current chief. They are amazing at what they do. I know they have a lot of challenges with short staff.
I was just getting ready to tell you to make sure you tell them they're doing a bang up job.
Yeah, but I commend them every single time. From the first time they met me with doing some of my events, my private events, the chief always told me, whenever you're doing something, come to me first. And I took that as an open door policy with him. And I have I'm obviously not going to bug him about something that's very minor, but something that large scale people coming in, we want to make them feel safe, because you can't have fun without safety.
Yep.
A lot of people mistake it with being tense and being aware, or not loafing as they call it. You're really not relaxed, and being relaxed really equates being having fun, because you can't have fun when you're tense.
Yeah,
and it's just what it is.
Hey, it is what it is. Several weeks ago we had all kind of events that got canceled or poorly attended because people didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And so we can't understate the importance. And I'm just glad to hear that you have that type of good working relationship. It's not just them coming out and doing their duty. You have a good working relationship.
Well, the good thing about it is that they, I have paid attention and they are paying attention also. And so what we do is after every event or before every event, we speak, we talk. I tell them this is what I thought was lacking. They tell me, well, I need help with these situations, and so the event flows well, because security should be an integrated part in any event, and it is when I deal with the police officers. VIPD does a wonderful job. Miss Crawford, she called me last night. She was there at the office at 7 o'clock at night, calling me about a permit I put in for this event, Feast. She asked me about it, and I had to change some stuff, and she's very just accommodating. I could go in there and I'm not gonna sit down for 3 hours and then get frustrated and walk away.
I'm so happy you're saying this, because earlier I was talking about agencies that are doing a bang-up job. Any agency you go to, you could run into a bad situation, a particular encounter that isn't positive, but you can't forget the other 99.
Exactly.
And that's our problem.
Exactly. We got to recognize that, hey, we got some great people out there that are really striving to do the job and do it well, in a way that you feel you've been well served, and we got to give them kudos. So I'm glad that you point that out, because when people say government, sometimes people thinking it's 8 to 5, and it ain't about 8 to 5. It's about your commitment.
Yes,
okay?
Yes, and that goes with any job. People just label the government workers as being what they are, but or what they believe them to be. But in reality, you can have those type of workers in any private industry, anything like that. And the thing about it is that I recognize them because they're integral part of the society and the community and how people perceive things. We like you said before, we really hype up the negativity a lot of times.
Yeah, we gotta hype up the positive.
We do.
Because another one that you have to deal with from time to time, if not annually, that's licensing and consumer affairs, because you gotta have a license, you gotta renew your license, all this other stuff. I tell people, when you walk in the door, the place feels professional.
Yes.
You need help, you could get online right there on the computer. If you're not that great on the computer, somebody will come out and help you.
I can't even complain about that. When Mr. Biggs was there, I shook his hand, because I started a business when he started that whole online process, and when I got automatic emails of my updates of certain things, what I mean? And even when I did have a problem, I went in and it was completely taken care of.
Well, let me tell you, that legacy continues and is being built on. Commissioner Carrington is doing a bang-up job in terms of making sure that we don't just have what we had, that it gets even better than that. And I have to really give it to them. The bilingual access, in terms of you walk in the door, I don't know about speaking in Deutsch, but I know between English and Spanish, you have people there who can
get it done.
Can get it done and assist you. All right, we got a call here. Good day, caller.
Most pleasant good morning. Greetings to you, Senator Douglas E. Canton Jr., your panelists and listeners, in Jesus Christ's name. This is Wayne Faxman Adams.
Wayne Faxman Adams, how you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you, in Jesus Christ's name, Senator. How are you doing?
Great, fantastic, outstanding, just plain excellent. And I know you're going to lay some Wayne Faxman facts on me here today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, firstly, Senator, let me say a most pleasant good morning greetings to my Independent Citizens Movement, or ICM party colleagues, especially to Miss Naomi Sandra Joseph of St. Croix. Second of all, Senator, your panelists and listeners, today is the 137th anniversary of the beginning of the 1878 labor revolt. It lasted from October 1st to 5th, 1878, and it was mainly centralized in the town of Frederiksted, St. Croix, then Danish West Indies, led by such persons as Queen Mary Thomas, Queen Agnes, and Queen Matilda. And due to our ancestors rising up 137 years ago, beginning today, wages were improved in the then Danish West Indies, and slave-like conditions were eased somewhat. So I just wanted to make mention of that.
So you think it's time for another one or what?
Not really, Senator. I think what we need to do is use the art of diplomacy and negotiations to be able to improve our scenario. Second of all, Senator, and your panelists and listeners, if I'm not mistaken, I heard on the TV news last night that there will be a direct flight from Norway to St. Croix. And if I'm correct in what I heard, this will be good because the Scandinavian realm, to which Norway, Denmark, Finland, and Sweden belong, are basically stable economies. And Finland spends the euro, and Norway, Denmark, and Sweden spend the krona. Krona is Krone. And there are banks in the territory that do currency exchange. And being that the krona is a stable currency on the world market, and in terms of Finland, spending the euro, which is a hard currency on the world market, this would help the economy of the territory. And I've been saying, Senator, your panelists and listeners, for quite some time, we need to attract more tourists from the Scandinavian realm. We already get some from Denmark. We need to increase that traffic, and we need to expand to the rest of Scandinavia. Scandinavia is cold most of the year, and many of those individuals in Scandinavia have disposable income, and coming to a warm climate like St. Croix and the rest of the territory would help our economic base.
Most definitely, and we have representation here today from the Christiansted Retail and Restaurant Association, and I know that they're excited about this also. So go ahead.
Actually, the Friends of Denmark, their flights and their tour system, that they do usually around for 2-3 weeks to a month, starts on the same time that Restaurant Week Dine VI starts. So it was actually all orchestrated by the Commission of Tourism to do this. And so there will be active events for these tourists to do, a lot of cultural stuff, a lot of food, wine, dining type of stuff. And then there will be also, kind of like we're doing a very nice event called Feast Christiansted with the Mokkajumbis and the jump ups. Not necessarily jump up, but a nice derivative off of that. So we've been planning for them, and we are directing. At least I know the commissioner is very much aware of that Scandinavian market.
Well, this is something I've been advocating for years and encouraging the commissioner to do. And based on what you're saying, I'm glad that she finally has arrived. I also think, Senator and listeners, that we need to attract visitors from Southeast Asia. Places like Singapore, which is the #1 economy in Southeast Asia today, Malaysia, which is #2, and I was in touch with the government of Malaysia back in 2000, and the government of Finland back in 2006, as well as Indonesia and Thailand. Those 4 nations that I mentioned in Southeast Asia also have stable economies, and if we attract tourists from those areas, many of them have disposable incomes much to our liking. So I'm hoping that the gentleman with the Christiansted
Retail and Restaurant
Association would benefit greatly from this tourism segment, because we need to expand our tourism product away from cruise ship tourism, which is dying here in the Caribbean, and heading towards the Mediterranean realm, where modern capitalism begun because of the exploits of Marco Polo, and focus more on airline traffic, because if we get more airline traffic, they'll have to stay in the hotels, eat in the restaurants, rent vehicles, shop in the groceries and the stores, and rent vehicles, take taxis and the like.
Yep.
So it's a win-win situation.
Definitely. All right. Yeah, well, we've always known, and unfortunately haven't put as much emphasis on the traveler, the air traveler, those who will stay, because more and more the competition for the cruise ship dollar, these folks get on the cruise ship, it's a different clientele. They don't have as much disposable income, and then sometimes they target it to only certain islands and so forth. So definitely we have a resource here that we just haven't mined properly, and we just need to get on top of it. And like you said, reach out to areas like the Asian, Middle East, mid-Asian areas such as Singapore, Malaysia, so forth and so on.
And
okay.
Singapore has a very high proportion of millionaires.
Hey, sound good to me.
Well, thank you very much, Senator Canton Jr., for the time.
All right, thank you much, Faxman Adams. We appreciate what you do. Keep on doing it.
You're most welcome, Senator.
Okay, have a great day.
You too.
All right. It's always good to hear that input, because sometimes we get myopic and we looking at a narrow, like right now. Of course, I know we all have to be concerned because Cuba is coming into the realm. But one of the things that I want to say about Cuba, folks have to know that Cuba isn't just getting into tourism. Cuba been in tourism. The difference is that the American market wasn't open to them. Okay, so in that sense, they have a well-honed machinery. So we had cause to be concerned for a long time ago, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, well, it's just a matter of when, not if, when. So, but I have great faith in the ingenuity and market strategy of the private sector here in the Virgin Islands, and I know that somehow or the other we're going to make this work to our betterment also. So we got to stay positive on these things.
Definitely.
And for the CRA, right, I know that you have, your vendors, but what about volunteers? People that say they're in high school, they need hours for time and what have you. What are your greatest needs for the program?
There's no real program per se. They've only really had this current board for maybe going on 2 years. So the first year was really just getting some structure, getting membership back up, you know what I mean? So they dealt with that all this last year. This year they're just trying to fine-tune some stuff, fundraise, get their name out there a little bit more and whatnot. I don't see right now a need for volunteers. It's really just, because the CRA has been established for a very long time, but sometimes when you don't have involved members, and how boards can go, you can lose your non-profit status. You have to start all this stuff back over. So they've been dealing with that. They're all good right now, and I would say that right now they're just trying to refocus, and it's really about generating revenue and people, driving them into Christiansted Town in a positive way, you know what I mean? And that's what they're really about. So the jump ups, the Feast Christiansted is the stuff they're involved in, and it's about retail and restaurants have a different need than retail, so they're trying to find that balance. So I wouldn't say they need volunteers right now. I kind of do all their events, and with my business and my company, we kind of work together, to do that.
Off the top of your head right now, does the CRA have any particular community services that they sponsor or any?
Well, this is something that they're picking up on probably next year. Okay, because it's all, what I like about them and why I partnered with them is because they're progressive, and it's a group of the people who are leaders or run the organization, the positions of president and vice president and treasurer, are very active in the community themselves, and partner with a lot of different people and work with a lot of people, but they're also very progressive, so they're forward thinking. So they're not just thinking, okay, we're just going to do these events so people come into our stores. They also want to start sponsoring other events and being involved in other positive things and maybe doing some other stuff.
Yeah, because we got anywhere from scholarships to we got like Boys and Girls Club, Calypso Inc., there's Majorettes, all of these various organizations, and they can get use all the support that they can get in terms of that's why I
completely right. And so take for instance, when I do jump up, I hire all steel pan groups, which consist of all these kid groups, and we pay them. So most times they'll come out for free, but we make sure that we pay our musicians and these kids groups because of the fact that it funds the programs, and that's the way we think, and this is the way we approach it. Also, how my business approaches it too. We don't just hook up people all at the same time. We kind of diversify it. We try to affect as many people as possible in a positive light. That's the best way I can say right now. But you don't want to take on too much all at one time.
No, I understand that. Yeah. And there's a lot going on around you also in the process. We've got the VIPR Friendship Week month upon us here, and we have the parade that's coming through town. We have the activity up this side toward the ballpark and everything else, and those things overlap because people are going to be in town. They're going to have the opportunity to eat, spend some money, so forth and so on. So everything is not like you're saying. It's not like it's just you, but it's like a whole like universe and different planets going around, and they all come in sync every now and then.
Well, what's good about them is that they have different committees. So like take for instance, just because I do the events, they're involved with public works, making sure that the roads are repaired, the gutters are things, because Christiansted Town is a historical site, so they try to keep things to standard. We come up with they come up with a lot of different ways of dealing with certain issues, the population of homeless people and all that type of stuff. So they work directly with a number of different associations who are based in Christiansted Town or not based in Christiansted Town to affect Christiansted Town in a positive way, and it's a positive thing. It's very interesting to watch how they do things.
Well, I want to say it's really a pleasure having you here and hearing about CRRA, because the more that people know, the more that it's less of something to discover, the better it is, because people can get involved in ways that otherwise, they come to jump up. The fact of the matter is you got a lot of different players doing different things to bring it all together. So I'm glad for this opportunity to bring a little bit more light in that regard, so people can have an appreciation, and to the extent that they're interested in getting in business, specifically in the Christiansted area, that CARA is a good organization to team up with in terms of being progressive here in Christiansted.
Yeah, and they have a lot of non-retail and restaurant members, like myself, KDM Productions. I'm a member. The insurance company across the street there is a member. Yes. There's another. There's a bank. There's a couple. Car rentals, basically anybody who's
because it's all intertwined.
Yes, it's all intermixed.
Business isn't like it's only this kind of business and that kind of business, and all the other businesses could just go about their business.
So they're very inclusive and they're not exclusive, and it actually makes it fun to work with them, and they listen to your ideas. They're positive individuals.
Right. Now we're here at a radio station next door. We have the bistro next door. We got a bookstore. You'd be surprised, just let's say in that little sense alone, the microcosm of people that come through the radio station, and also in the
Gallows Bay is its own economy at times.
Right. And so just driving home that point that everything is interrelated, and it's not just CRRA as in you gotta have a store in the traditional sense of business. What they're doing make it good for you and what you're doing, even though there's maybe two different areas of
and that's the truth.
Yeah. All right, well, we're gonna look here to take a pause for the cause. I hear my DJ here playing this good music that make me always want to dance in my chair, but anyhow,
and it is Hispanic Heritage Month,
all right, and I gonna put my copyright on top of their copyright on this music. All right, we'll be back in a minute. Okay.